Oi, 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 YouTube. What is up, everybody? Good to see you. Today, we are actually taking a look at the 4.4.0 PTB update for the new killer, the twins, aka Charlotte and Victor, and Elodie Rakoto. So let's dive right in. Let's see what's going on with this update. But before we dive on in, be sure you hit the sub button here on the channel to get new tutorials on how to play better in Dead by Daylight, the news updates you need to know about, and of course the goofiest of gameplay. Be sure to turn the bell icon on. Thank you, I appreciate it. All right, who's this killer? What are they about? Let's go ahead and start with what I know you want to see the most, the killer's powers and abilities, of course. This special ability is called Blood Bond, so you press and hold the power button to unleash Victor. It charges the bar. Victor's the little demon child twin, and it swaps to their point of view. It swaps to Victor's point of view. Now you can swap between Charlotte and Victor's point of view by tapping the ability button. So while on his own, Victor can trigger killer instinct from Charlotte's perspective. So Victor doesn't see the killer instinct, but Charlotte can see it within a radius around Victor, all right? So survivors who can hear Victor's shrieks are susceptible to this sort of killer instinct, to this tracking, all right? Now, it's important to know that the survivor doesn't hear a terror radius from Victor or Charlotte while Victor is out running around. The minute Charlotte takes control, you will hear a terror radius, but you can hear Victor's little snarling, shrieking weirdness. So, survivors can crush Victor. They can destroy Victor if you swap back to being Charlotte and leave him standing there on his own. Now, if crushed, Victor will regrow after some time. Basically, you have to wait for your ability bar to regrow. Now, Victor has a special attack called Pounce. While controlling Victor, you could hold the ability button to charge a Pounce, and then you would tap the attack button to unleash the Pounce, all right? Successfully landing a Pounce deals damage to the survivor. If the survivor is full health, Victor will latch on to that survivor and hang on to them, all right? In which case the survivor is afflicted with broken, oblivious, and incapacitated. They will be unable to enter lockers or leave through the exit gate if Victor is on them. So in theory, you could stop a survivor from leaving by getting Victor attached to them if they're fully healed. So it may be worth it for survivors to not fully heal as they leave the exit gates. You know what I mean? So the survivor can crush Victor off of their back while he's latched onto them by completing the remove action. You can do this while running. All right. If Victor misses his pounce, though, he is momentarily vulnerable and can be crushed by a survivor. So he does have like a stun time, if you will. All right. So if Victor lands on an obstacle taller than himself, he will also be destroyed. So if you like splat against a wall, basically you could pounce into a wall and just kind of splat yourself. So weird abilities, but super fun, super, super interesting. So for killer perks, we're going to dive right in. We have Oppression. When you damage a generator, up to 3 other random generators also begin regressing. If the affected generators are being repaired, any survivors repairing them receive a difficult skill check. Oppression at tier 3 has a cooldown of 80 seconds. This is interesting if you combine this with Pop and Surveillance. You could actually kind of figure out where people are pretty quickly, even if they're spread out. I think this is kind of a great combo if you don't want to use Hex Undying, Hex Ruin, which, let's face it, is pretty boring. Moving on, we have Hoarder. Receive a loud noise notification when survivors interact with a chest or when they pick up an item within 48 meters of your location. The trial begins with up to 2 additional chests in the environment, and the rarity of items found in all chests is decreased. So this is a counter to a lot of what you'll see in the survivors perks. It's also a counter to like Pharmacy or Plunderer's Instinct. And you could run this in theory with Franklin's Demise if you have that tough team. I don't know if anyone's really going to use this, but hey, it's interesting, it's different, and I'll applaud them for that. Then we have the Coup de Grace, aka the Coup de Grace. Each time a generator is completed, Coup de Grace grows in power and you gain a token, so that's up to 5 tokens. Consume 1 token to increase the distance of your next lunge attack by 100%. This is nuts, all right? I'm not even gonna like sugarcoat it for you. Imagine putting this on a tier 3 mire. Somebody pops a gen and you are suddenly zooming at them with tier 3 knife right in the back of the head. You know what I mean? It doesn't seem like you're going to get to control when you use the token. It's literally going to be burn a token when you attack. So this will have to be like something that you use methodically, right? And I think this will be interesting because, you know, with this killer specifically, I don't think that the token's going to burn when you're playing as the little demon Lubberkin, you know what I mean? So you could use him to deal one thing of damage and then swap to her and then burn a token. It's so interesting. I'm excited for this. It's unique. Let's go. All right. So for Elodie, we have Appraisal. Start the trial with 3 tokens. When a chest has already been opened, consume a token to search it for an item, and you unlock chests 80% faster. So if somebody's already opened a chest, you can get another item out of a chest. Like that's pretty nuts. Combine that with Pharmacy Plunder's Instinct. You have like medkits on medkits on medkits. All right, like that sounds crazy to me. We have Deception. Interacting with a locker while sprinting will trigger a loud noise notification at your location and cause you to leave no scratch marks for 3 seconds. You no longer enter lockers while sprinting and while this perk is active. This is strange. So it seems to me like you hop in a locker and it gives you no scratch marks. So you can hop in, hop out, no scratch marks. And then while the perk is active, you can't enter lockers. I don't know. I'll have to look at this one. The verbiage here is super weird. Without a demonstration, I don't know. And we have Power Struggle. While being carried by the killer, reaching 25% wiggle progress activates Power Struggle. And while Power Struggle is active, you can drop a nearby standing pallet to stun the killer. So this seems like it would be really good with Flip Flop and Unbreakable. If the killer comes and picks you up, you have 25%. If they walk through a pallet, it seems like you're just smacking the pallet down while they're carrying you, saving yourself. Interesting. The problem with this perk is that it's not going to do you a lot of good once killers learn how to counterplay it. So that kind of sucks. You know what I mean? Like, killers are now just never going to walk through pallets. So I don't think anyone's going to get much out of this. So I think Appraisal is lit. I think Power Struggle, not so much. Yeah. Other than, of course, the obvious Killer and Survivor edition, we have Mount Ormond and the Junkyard, aka any of the Azarov maps, have been updated. They do look prettier. They do look different. They have updated the hatch and the totem. So that is, you know, interesting. There have been a few updates to Blight's Soul Chemical add-on that you could see here, and the Adrenaline Vial. And then there's a bunch of bug fixes. I'm not going to go through all of these. You guys can check them here. The patch notes will be in the description of the video. So we're going to be looking at the known issues. Everybody's going to complain about stuff. There are known issues, all right? There is missing visual feedback when performing a modified lunge attack from Coup de Grace. Order, the perk currently does not spawn extra chests, so that is a problem. The perk currently does not reduce the rarity of items found in a chest. Basically, the perk is useless, is really what we're saying. Oppression, the cooldown isn't properly being applied, so we don't even get to, like, use that appropriately in the PTB, so interesting. Elodie's perks, Appraisal, the rummage action is affected by perks that increase unlocking speed. This seems to not be something that'll happen later. The score event granted upon completing the rummage action is missing its name, so that'll be goofy. There's no audio playing when the locker door closes with Deception, and the UI does not function as intended, so interesting. The perk can't be used, Power Struggle, the perk cannot be used while actively wiggling. So you have to use Power Struggle in the PTB, you actually have to stop wiggling, throw the pallet, and then escape. You can't be wiggling and then throw the pallet at the same time. It looks like this will be fixed in the future. And then other issues. When Victor is not controlled, the animation and sounds are work in progress. So basically Victor and all that stuff could, or any of the sounds when you are playing as Charlotte could be changed. During endgame collapse, when Victor's on a survivor's back, the exit gate spikes effect are not properly blocking the survivor. Victor should not receive bloodlust movement speed increase. It appears like he does right now, which is freaky. If a survivor gets pounced on by Victor during the entering locker animation, the animation is not canceled and he still enters the locker with Victor. Ooh. Victor cannot see exit gate aura indicators. The Twins Power anti-camp restriction system is not properly working. I don't even know what that really means. Spinning top add-on effect is not final. And then Nurse's blinks are unreliable around the Blood Lodge. So a Blood Lodge map issue. What do you guys think? This was a long news video. Are you excited to hop into the BTB? Are you scared of anything? I promise you, are going to have a video exploring this killer more today. I hope you guys check that out. Get some water, unclench your dang old jaws, all right? And get prepped. This is going to be a crazy chapter, and I will pray to the entity to see you in the next video.